This is Germany in early 1938. And this is Germany in 1942 at the peak of its power. Let the speedrun start. After the First World War, due to the Treaty of Versailles, Germany was a mess, no money, almost no army, and no bitches. Then a certain Austrian painter with a silly mustache showed up. In 1933 Hitler became Chancellor of Germany and a year later anointing himself Führer. He wanted to make Germany great again, and this word, meaning living space for the pure German race, so the only logical solution was to take over the world. Not you Switzerland, you are a good boy. After rebuilding the army, Hitler began to show the world why you need to learn history, and why you shouldn't put harsh terms on a losing country after a war. So, in 1938 Germany occupied Austria and the following year annexed Czechoslovakia. For now, the Allies didn't intervene because they had their own problems, or better put, because they were pussies. On August 23, 1939 Germany and the Soviet Union signed a non-aggression pact, and on September 1 hell broke loose, when Germany invaded Poland. 2 days later the Allies declared war on Germany, marking the beginning of the Second World War. On September 17, Soviet troops invaded Poland from the east, and in less than a month Warsaw surrendered. 2 months later the Soviets launched the Winter War with the goal of annexing Finland, but it was a massive L for the Russians, and so 5 months later a peace treaty was signed where Finland ceded 9% of its territory. Back to the OP country, the period between these is known as the Phony War because nothing really happened. What the Allies didn't know is that during this period Germany was just taking its steroids, as on April 9, 1940 Germany invaded both Norway and Denmark. Denmark fell in less than 6 hours. Denmark, while Norway fell 2 months later. Now that Germany got thicker, Hitler set his eyes on France. To get there, on May 10, 1940 he invaded Benelux, which are these 3 countries in what became known as Blitzkrieg or Lightning War, where the Panzer was the one carrying the fight. On June 10 Italy joined the Axis, declaring war on France. 4 days later, Hitler's troops entered Paris, and by June 25 the invasion of France was over, resulting in this famous photo of Hitler. In the same month, Russia seized Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and Bessarabia. On September 27, 1940, Germany, Italy, and Japan signed the Tripartite Pact. 2 months later, Hungary, Slovakia, and Romania, my country, joined the Axis too. Germany now set its eyes on England, but as it happened throughout all history, the mighty English Channel kept Hitler at bay, so nothing really happened until April next year. Now you may wonder what Italy and Japan were up to so far. Well, Italy was a massive L. It trolled Germany and was doing side quests in Africa. Sure, some of them were important, like getting oil, but Hitler always had to come to the rescue, and now, on April 6, 1941, after its second cycle, Hitler had to save Mussolini again, so he invaded Yugoslavia and Greece, with Bulgaria joining the Axis a month prior. After this warm-up, in a decision that maybe saved all of us of speaking German right now, Hitler initiated Operation Barbarossa, invading the Soviet Union on June 22, 1941. Troops from these countries took part in the invasion, and things were looking great at the beginning for Germany. However, the Soviets' greatest ally joined the fight, the winter. So for now it was a stalemate. Back for round 2, next summer, Germany was low on oil, so Hitler initiated Case Blue, in which he targeted the southern part of Russia. However, it was time for Germany to take L's, as they were pushed back. On the Western Front Germany took the rest of France because Hitler was mad that he lost territory in Africa.
Round 3. Fight!
Germany took further L's as they were pushed back even more. By this year also, all Axis territory in South Africa was lost. Sicily fell shortly after that, and in September 1943, Allied troops landed in Italy. Mussolini was out, Italy turned their guns, but Hitler took control of most of the country. By now, you know the drill. Nothing really happens for the first half of the year, and then hell breaks loose. And so, Russia began a huge counterattack on German forces, while in the West D-Day happened. Troops landed in Normandy, and 2 months later further troops landed in southern France. Germany was cornered from all sides, and by May 7, 1945 Germany surrendered, with Hitler self-deleting in his bunker on April 30, 1945. And so, everlasting peace followed. I want to give a shout out to my computer for not exploding during the making of this video. Just look at all this shit. Wait, what's that Well, looks like they dropped the nuke on Hiroshima. Not again. As you can see from this picture I stole from the internet, Japan was doing pretty good, until America, fuck yeah! Coming again to save the motherfucking day, yeah, America, fuck yeah! America dropped the atomic bombs at Hiroshima and Nagasaki and Japan surrendered, marking the end of the war. But in the end, Japan is the true winner as we got anime and Elden Ring after that. In conclusion, this war could have been avoided with a simple no. As a country, they can't invade you without your consent. In conclusion, what I really want to say with this video is, fuck this bitch.
America, fuck yeah!